It's time to assemble your priority glide, so grab some household tools, scissors, a Phillips screwdriver, and a floor pump if you've got one with a gauge, and let's get started.
Before we get started, it's important to know that we always recommend that your bicycle be professionally assembled. Or if you choose to follow this video and do home assembly, we recommend that a professional bicycle mechanic safety check your bicycle before riding. Now let's get started.
Start by opening your box. Remove these cardboard blocks and ask for a friend's help to help lift the bike out of the box. Now that the bike's out of the box, you can start removing the packing material. As you're doing this, be careful not to scratch the paint or cut any of the wires or cables on the bike. Let's open up the parts box and see what's inside. Let's go through what's in the parts box. The charger for the bike, the tools for the assembly and the priority manual, your battery safety manual, your gates manual. Now be sure to give all three of these a read before your first ride. We've also got the bolts for the fender in the front, the rear reflector, the pedals, and a water bottle cage. Let's start the assembly. Let's start by installing the handlebars. So grab your 4mm Allen key and remove the stem faceplate bolts. I like to hold the faceplate bolts in the faceplate for this next step. So grab your handlebars and bring them up. Let's go through what the cable routing should look like here and what the orientation of the handlebars should be. So as I pick these up, I've got my shifter here on the right side, my brake lever below that, and I've got the rear brake line coming around here in the front. And this is the front brake line and the display over here on this side with the throttle here that I'm able to push down. So none of the cables should be wrapped or twisted in any way. And the front brake caliper and front brake line should be here on the left or non-drive side of the bike. Now go ahead and grab your faceplate and your faceplate bolts. With one hand, hold the faceplate and handlebars in place. And with the other, start threading in the faceplate bolts. They should catch and thread in smoothly. If there's any resistance in threading these in, you'll want to back them out and start over, because you don't want to cross-thread them. Don't go all the way down just yet, because you want them to tighten down evenly. Once you get to the point where there's a few millimeters left here at all four corners, then you want to double-check the angle of your handlebars. There's knurling here in the middle, that's these lines that allows the stem to grip onto the handlebar, and you can use that to orient the bar side to side. So it should be equally centered here. And as far as the handlebar angle goes, I like to do it so that the display is basically facing straight up. It'll feel like the handlebars are pointing a little bit higher than where the saddle is right now. So now you can start tightening down those faceplate bolts. And you want them to have equal spacing at all 4 points once you tension them. And tighten these in a star pattern. You want to tighten these down to 7 to 8 Newton meters if you have a torque wrench. If not, you want them good and snug. While we're here, let's go ahead and remove the keys from the handlebar. And we can tighten down the front reflector. So grab your Phillips screwdriver. So go ahead and aim that reflector forwards and tighten it down. Now let's install the front light. For the light, go ahead and grab your 3mm Allen key, that is the smallest one, and pick up the light here. You can loosen the clamp. Just make sure that bolt doesn't run away. I like to route the wire back from the wrap here. Clamp the light right there on the handlebars. Go ahead and install the bolt and thread it in place. You're going to aim this a little bit down just because the bike's going to be higher in the front once we install that front wheel. So you might need to readjust the angle once you get everything assembled. But either way, snug it up. You don't want to over torque that bolt, so just probably about 3 Newton meters is plenty if you have a torque wrench. Let's install the front wheel. Start by removing this axle spacer if you haven't already. Grab your front wheel and remove all the packaging from the nuts if you haven't already as well. Let's take a look at the front wheel, and it's got an axle nut on each side, and here on the disc brake side we've got one washer, the wire, and an axle nut. So we're actually going to angle it so the wire's coming on the bottom side. And let's just have a check at the other side as well. So we've got an axle nut, a flat washer, and a toothed washer. So we're going to put the tooth side of that washer on the bottom side as well. If you haven't removed the brake pad spacer, take that out as well. Now go ahead and lift the front of the bike. And you want to keep an eye on the disc brake rotor. And just make sure that rotor goes in between the pads inside the disc brake caliper. And so now there's a flattened side of the axle. So you just have to get the wheel at the right angle so that it falls into the dropouts. Just watch your fingers when you're doing this. There you go. So the axle should sit all the way up into the dropouts. I like to have a little bit of weight on the front end just to make sure that that wheel is all the way up in there. Now go ahead, grab your 15mm open wrench and tighten that wheel down. So you want to make these nice and tight so that the tool leaves an imprint in the palm of your hand. Make sure to tighten down both sides. And let's flip down the kickstand so the bike can support itself. One more step on the front wheel installation, and that is to plug in the motor wire. There's a proper orientation to plug this in, and there's a more domed side and a more flat side. So just make sure those align when you plug it in. All right, now it's time to install the front fender. For this step, you're going to need the fender mounting bolt from your small parts kit, your 10mm open wrench, your 5mm Allen key, and your 4mm Allen key. I like to start by grabbing the front fender and just sitting it here on the front wheel. Then grab that mounting bolt and remove the nut, the small washer, and the curved washer from it. And go ahead and install the bolt through the fork crown. Now put that curved washer with the curved side facing the fork crown. Mount the fender, the small washer, and start to thread the nut in place. Now before tightening that down, we're going to mount the fender struts. Now to bolt on the fender struts, grab your 4mm Allen key and remove the mounting bolts. The washer stays with the bolt on the outside. So with this hardware, make sure it goes on the inside of this wire. Now hold it in place. Thread in the mounting bolt. And go ahead and snug that up. Be sure to do this on both sides. Now back up here, we're going to try and set the right height for our fender, or get a sense of where we want it to be to clear the tire. So just a couple millimeters down, not quite halfway through on the mounting. So go ahead and grab your 10mm wrench and turn it against the 5mm on the bolt side until it gets just about snug. Go ahead and slide that fender up to the right spot. Oop. And then lock it down. If you find that your fender's rubbing, you might have to bend these struts a little bit, and that's totally normal. They're designed to be bent. In my case, the fender's rubbing here. Actually, the hardware's rubbing on the non-drive side. So I'm going to bend in the hardware right close to the mounting bolt over here on the drive side. And then I'm going to bend this out a bit on the non-drive side until I have kind of a good amount of clearance, or pretty much even clearance on both sides. Looks pretty good. So now just to double check, I'm going to pick it up, give the wheel a spin, and everything looks good. If you hear a brushing or a rubbing sound when you spin that front wheel, it might be that your brake caliper needs a little bit of an adjustment. You might be able to see on mine, if you look very closely between the rotor and between both pads, that the rotor is much closer to the pad here on the outside. So what we just have to do is center the brake caliper. Using the 5mm Allen key, loosen those caliper mounting bolts just enough so that the caliper can move around freely. And then squeeze the front brake. With the front brake squeezed, give that caliper a little wiggle. And start by snugging up this lower mounting bolt. Then do the same for the top mounting bolt. Now give a look again at that rotor relative to the caliper, and it should be more centered. You might have to do this a couple of times, but if that adjustment isn't quite working, you can also adjust manually. Go back, loosen those mounting bolts, and then just use your eyes to see where the caliper's brake pads are sitting relative to the rotor, and then just manually move the caliper to the right position. With the caliper in the right place, you can snug up your mounting bolts. Once they're snug, you can confirm the adjustment and then torque them down firmly. There you go. Now let's bolt down the rear fender struts. So grab your 4mm Allen key and remove the mounting bolts from the rear eyelets. So now mounting the rear fender strut in place, the washer should be on the outside. So go ahead and remove the bolt from the frame and reinstall it. Now it's time to install the pedals. So grab your pedals and let's identify which is which, because the left and right pedal are different. So you'll see here they should have stickers on them, designated R for right and L for left. But if they don't, you can also check the pedal spindle, that's this part. The left pedal has these hash marks here on the spindle. Let's start by installing the right pedal. If you have a dab of grease, go ahead and put that on the threads before installing. The right pedal installs clockwise. So once you get it started, you can use your 15mm wrench to finish the job. And once it starts to get snug, what I like to do, actually here's a good way to do it, squeeze the rear brake and turn the tool hard so that the tool leaves an imprint in the palm of your hand. The left pedal installs counterclockwise, so that's reverse thread. So go ahead and turn that counterclockwise to get it in there. And go ahead and grab your 15mm wrench. You can squeeze the rear brake. Turn it hard so that the tool leaves an imprint in the palm of your hand. Now let's raise the saddle so that we can install the rear reflector. So go ahead and use the 5mm Allen key to raise the seat. If you need help finding the right seat height, you can use the sizing tool on our website. But another good rule of thumb is to bring it up to about your hip. With the saddle at close to the right height, you can snug it up. Now let's install the rear reflector. Go ahead and grab your Phillips screwdriver and the rear reflector and remove the mounting screw. Slide the reflector over the seat post. I like to mount it here at the top and make sure the angle of the reflector is such that it's perpendicular to the ground. Thread the screw in place and snug it up. Let's go through how to remove your battery. Take your key, insert it into the lock, and turn it clockwise, and that should allow your battery to pop right out. There is a secondary catch to stop your battery from coming all the way out, so then you can just lean it forward, pull up, and the battery will come out. To reinstall the battery, put it in bottom first, and then squeeze it in place. You can do this with the key in or out, and the bike always reverts automatically to the locked position. Let's go over the basic operation of the e-bike system. Start by powering the bike on using the power button. You can see that speed is displayed here, as well as pedal assist level, and some other data here that you can cycle through using the power button. This can show trip distance, right now it's at 0, odometer, and the range estimate for the given pedal assist mode. So you can change pedal assist level, and that determines how much assistance you're getting from the bike, or how much work the motor's doing for you. There's 3 pedal assist levels, so you can use the plus button to add power from the motor or the minus button to reduce the power of the motor. As you go up in pedal assist level, the bike will provide a range estimate for how many miles you have left on the battery using that pedal assist level. To turn the lights on, hold the plus button for 3 seconds. This also turns the lights off if you do it again. Hold the minus button for walk assist, and that will allow the motor to maintain a consistent speed of about 3 miles an hour to allow you to push the bike up a steep slope. The bike comes equipped with a throttle that's active in any pedal assist level above 0. The throttle is also only active once the bike begins moving, so it will not be active from 0 miles per hour, so you don't have to worry about accidentally pressing the throttle when you're just standing with the bike. Let's go through the settings. Hold the plus and minus buttons to access the settings menu. Here in P1, you can change from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. Here in P2, you can change the top speed of the pedal assist. You can select this with the power button. If local regulations allow, you can change the pedal assist up to 28. To select the change, press the power button again. You can also change the wheel size, but that's not necessary. You can change the brightness of the display and the time it takes for the display to automatically shut off when you're inactive. P6 allows you to reset the trip distance on the display. P1 through 6 are the main menus that you'll use, so don't worry about P8 on, although this menu allows you to completely reset the display to stock settings. Now let's check the tire pressure. Grab your pump, one with a gauge and one that takes a Schrader valve. Remove the valve cap. Lock the pump in place. Some pressure should register. These tires are rated between 50 and 85 psi, so lighter riders will prefer the lower end of that range, and heavier riders will prefer the higher end of that range. So go ahead and pump it up to the desired amount. Remove the head of the pump, and you're good to ride. Don't forget to do it to both tires, though. Now that you've finished the basic assembly, be sure to go over your bike and tighten every bolt that you touched and every one that you didn't. But before your first ride, be sure to bring the bike by a local bike shop to be safety checked by a mechanic. If you have any questions about the Glide or its assembly, please reach out. Our customer service team is happy to help, and we're available 7 days a week.